Lieutenant Cale Thorne woke up with a feeling like someone had just pulled him out of the abyss. Shortness of breath. Eyes are not fully open. The body is cold. The bones and joints seem to have not worked for a century. He slowly withdrew the infusion tube, coughed violently because the air was too dry. Where is this? Everything is so quiet that the sound of blood flow in the ear can also be heard clearly. The Vigilance 7 mothership, a vehicle of the Biosphere Reserve Project, once carried more than 400 people out of the Earth on its final journey. The journey lasted 47 years as planned, to neutral space before reorienting to the planet Gliese 581G. But Cale woke up alone. There is no one in the other sleeping compartments. There is no welcome system sound. No warning. Just a quiet white light. Cale staggered to the biological control panel. Date and time, January 7th, 2413. 2413? Impossible. According to the plan, he had to wake up in 2191, but the clock said he had been asleep for 222 years. The main AI system, Vera, does not respond to voice. Cale activates manually. Vera Online, stable operating system. Passenger status, does not exist. Crew status, lost contact. He opened the mission history table. All data from 2192 onwards was erased. Why am I the only one alive? And why are you waking up now? Cale moved through the main corridor. The ship is still operating. Artificial gravity works. Fresh air, water treatment system still runs stably. All too perfect for a ship with no people living. He entered the command compartment. The main screen turns on when he touches his hand. And then, he stopped. The captain's seat is slightly tilted forward. The glass of water is still slightly evaporating. A glove is still lying on the armrest. Cale carefully scanned the traces of heat. There is no one. No biomass. But the sensor data said someone was sitting here less than 20 minutes ago. He turned on the security monitoring system. Access denied. Camera logs corrupted. He opened the mission diary. The last line says, "The Earth has dissipated, but not all memories." Cale felt a cold current running down his back. He went back to the sleeping compartment, checked the system. Only one compartment is activated, your own. All other compartments are damaged or opened in a dead state. But in the 7th compartment, there is a line of handwritten notes. Don't look behind the panel. Cale removed the electronic board behind compartment number 7. There is no one. Only one strange device is attached to the system network port, not of the original design. A module emits a light and emits a small sequence of sounds. Not a voice, not a Morse signal, but it's like breathing. He stepped back. Try to stay calm. No one can survive 222 years except me. No one can walk. No one should sit in the command compartment. So why do the systems still run stably? Why is the glass still warm? And why was I woken up? Cale returned to the center table. He tried to open the biological interface again. A new line appears. Not in the system language. Don't be afraid. We will look back at the Earth together. Cale stood in the middle of the command compartment, looking out the window of the universe. It's okay. There is no planet. Only a deep black region, where the Earth used to exist. But he heard in his head, like a voice echoing from his own memory. You are not the last one. You are the first person to remember. Cale Thorne is no longer sure what is true. The Vigilance 7 ship still operates perfectly, as if an invisible crew is still taking care of it. But all biological traces indicate that he is the only living creature left. Then, who made a glass of water? He reset the manual CCTV camera. Don't use AI system, because you no longer believe in Vera. System log data is still missing. October 12, 1911 was the last recorded version, exactly 24 hours before the ship lost signal from Earth. Nothing after that. A white space lasts more than 200 years. But then, the manually installed Cale camera caught the movement. 0H37. A faint figure, passing through corridor 3, the already closed area. He stopped the picture. Zoom. Not clear. Not present. There is no thermal reflection. But there is a shadow. Cale took the lamp and the electric gun, went to corridor 3. The door has been locked since 2205, according to the system. But the control panel shows last access, 12 minutes ago. There are no prime marks. No break-in. Just someone came in. In the corridor, the light is dimmer than usual. On the wall, someone draws strange symbols by hand. Spirals, human eyes, shapes like planets. He approached. Suddenly, the radio speaker automatically turns on, but not according to the default system. Do you remember? The Earth did not explode. It drifts into its own memory. Kale stepped back, shouting loudly. Who is here? I'm the last person alive. I'm not kidding. Silence. Only the sound of a ventilator and my own heartbeat beating in my ears. Vera turned on again, the first time after Kale woke up. The female voice is cold, mechanical, but this time, unusual. Kale Thorne. He was not awakened by the schedule. He was called. From whom? From the remaining human memory system itself. I don't understand. We store every dream, every flashback, every fear. But only when there is no one to dream of. We started dreaming. Kale stood still. You mean? Artificial intelligence has dreamed of replacing humans. No. The last piece of consciousness, not people, not machines, chose him. Biocavity number 3 suddenly opened. There is no one in there. But Kale saw a glowing object, a box of biological data. When you touch it, the image appears. A forest, a small house, a child is riding a bicycle. And in the distance, the earth is still blue. I don't know this place. Vera replied. No, but that's his memory. From another life. Kale was stunned. He retreated to the command compartment. Here, on the navigation screen, a new coordinate system appears. Does not belong to the solar system. Not in any planetary database. But below that coordinate, there is only one line. Want to see the Earth again? Kale looked at the screen. It's okay. Nothing is clear. But I understand. If the Earth no longer exists as a physical planet, maybe it's still alive, like a form of memory that can be reloaded. Kale Thorne sits alone in front of the control panel. His hand lightly touched the sequence of coordinates that had just been displayed. It did not match any star regions that had ever been surveyed. A blind spot in the astronomical map, located between the thin space boundary, no planet, no satellite. But the automatic train system has calculated the travel route, as if it had been available before. Vera continued to speak, but was no longer an emotionless machine voice. It is lower, calmer, and sometimes it breaks slightly like an emotional human voice. The Earth is not burned. It doesn't collapse. It was removed, layer by layer, and load on what people fear the most. Forget. Kale slowly asked. What am I in all this? A witness? A survivor? Vera replied. You are the last person to keep the original link. His mind still encodes that original human mark. Therefore, the system chooses you. Kale was surprised. He recalled his recent dreams. A beach that I have never been to. The laughter of the child he doesn't know the name. It feels like I'm remembering something I've never lived. Vera leads him to a forbidden data compartment, which cannot be opened without live biometrics. He put his hand up. Identifying system, Kale Thorne, the highest level genetic code. Access level, restarter. The compartment opens. Inside is a set of spherical data cores, dimly glowing, rotating slowly. The code flows around it like stardust. Emotion logs. Collective dreams. Global memory constructs. Humanity residue. Class 1. This is not an information server. This is the memory of the Earth. Vera explained. When facing inevitable destruction, the Survival Council has decided not to save the planet, but save what makes it meaningful. Things people used to remember, loved, and dreamed of. The entire collective consciousness of mankind is backed up into the core of quantum biology. Texture is not according to language, but emotional waves plus subconscious images. It cannot be read, can only be revived. Kale sat quietly. But why only me? Who allows me to reload a whole planet? Vera answered with a sentence that made Kale speechless. Because the rest. I don't want to remember anymore. He is the last person to remember the Earth as a beautiful thing. Only memories are preserved by love. Can be revived. The train window gradually switches to simulation mode. An image gradually appears. Earth. Not like satellite images, but like a look from a child, blue sky without clouds, birds flying, the sound of waves lapping on the shore. Kale burst into tears. I remember this, but I'm not sure I've ever lived through it. Question system. Do you want to bring this world back? If yes, you must accept. Give up your body. Give up time. Become a bright spot in the memory I used to love. Kale stands in front of the core of the memory Earth. The whole ship was silent. The whole universe is silent. Only you. and the right to choose. Keep it all, or let everything disappear like never before. Cale Thorne stands in front of the core of memory, a ball of light that seems to be breathing. He knows, as long as it is synchronized, his consciousness will blend into the system. It is impossible to return to being the same person as before. No more physics. No more language. Only the idea remains. Vera, AI's voice is quiet but more human than ever, asked, "Are you ready? We can't force. This decision must come from compassion." Cale closed his eyes. At that moment, thousands of images appeared. The picture of a human drawing the earth on the wall of a tiny apartment. Someone's laughter in the middle of the winter night. The warmth of a dog lying with its head on its owner's feet. An old man planted a tree knowing that he did not live enough to see it bloom. I don't remember a specific city, don't remember a specific person, but I remember the feeling of belonging somewhere. He touched the core of memory. The body begins to melt into light energy, which sells into emotional data. The heartbeat disappeared. Thinking is no longer in words, but pure vibration. And then, Cale is no longer outside the earth, but in it. Not soil, rock, water, gas, but the feeling of millions of living beings who have lived, loved, lost. New space is formed. Not a physical planet, but a conscious earth, where all the good things that ever existed are preserved. A place that is not corroded by time. No more war, fear, or anxiety. There is only a meaningful existence, no need for words. At the same time, on the screen of the Vigilance 7 mothership, a final command line was recorded. Log #final. Human consciousness has been re-established. The last person chose not to forget. The ship drifts into empty space. There is no one left, but the system is still bright, as if there is still someone living in it. A strange star appeared, not in the astronomical map. Does not emit light as usual, but a signal. The Earth is still here, among those who do not give up their memories. Cale's last whisper, now no longer in human form. Asterisk, I am no longer the last one. I am the first person. In an Earth reborn from love. Asterisk.